Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan with the Chart Guys. I've been trading the last 13 and a half years. We're going to check in on the market in this video as we head into the FOMC this Wednesday, and I'm going to point out what to me is the most fascinating thing about 2024 as far as the markets are concerned, and nobody else cares about it. So broader market first, we've got the bulls in full control. This is the strongest close, the highest close ever in SPY, all-time high close. Daily inside bar, not expecting a whole lot of action pre-FOMC. But if you are a swing trader or a longer term mindset, just keep drawing your lines. And if we're holding the higher lows on the long term, there is nothing to worry about whatsoever. The bulls have full control. So we have a new shorter term benchmark level, 518.36. If 518.36 holds through the summer, we're going to keep going up. It's pretty simple. It seems like a very simple, how can it be that easy? And a lot of people overcomplicate things, looking for hidden clues and divergences and all that. If you don't care about nailing the absolute top, just keep walking it up and believe the bulls when they show you the trend and they give you new supports. QQQ, same deal. Weekly level, bulls in full control. If 443.06 is support, all-time high close today, and all-time high in play. So a little bit of a tightening hourly range over the last 2 days. Low, high, higher, low, lower, high, higher, low, and closing still right up at resistance. Semiconductors hit all-time highs today. But first, what's fascinating to me about the market in 2024, Apple and Tesla have broken correlations. I trade with correlations very closely, where if I'm trading Apple, I'm watching QQQ, Microsoft, QQQ, Amazon, QQQ. If I'm watching, Goldman Sachs, XLF, I use the ETFs. So over the last 8 years, I've been staring at these correlations every day, all the time. And Apple was extremely correlated to QQQ, and so was Tesla. This year, that is changing. We can look back and say, well, it makes sense that Apple is disconnected from the correlation because Buffett was selling a massive amount of shares, and that's breaking the correlation, and it gave relative weakness. Okay, that makes sense. But Tesla is doing the same thing. And, I make these observations today, this afternoon, I made the observation again. I'm looking at my screen, and let's look at my screen. Everything is green except for GameStop, bearish ETF, and XLF a little bit of red. But, are you seeing my screen? Yes. But look at Tesla and Apple. Tesla and Apple both down pretty much 2%. The NASDAQ was up pretty much 0.5%. And you got Amazon 1.5%, Microsoft 1%, NVDA, Meta's up 2%. My point is, so I make that observation, and I was like, how many times have I said that this year? And so I go back and I search our chat room, and I see that I just keep saying the same thing another morning. So we have April 29th, Apple and Tesla, another morning, counter all other QQQ names, a consistent theme the last month plus. April 15th, another morning where QQQs and semis are all up and Apple and Tesla are the odd ones out in the red. Both have a headline to point to that day, but it's been a theme of 2024 of these two names doing their own thing. There's something going on under the surface. Again, Buffett and Apple make sense. There's something going on under the surface of Tesla that we are not aware of at this point as far as what big money is doing. And, we could look back at Tesla back on its massive dump back here when it went from 300 to 100 real quick. And that was Elon doing a ton of selling, and correlations were certainly broken back then, but doing a ton of selling for his whole Twitter thing. So it's still ongoing. Tesla keeps chopping sideways. This is the weakest close it's had in a while. Within its sideways range, it is still range bound. But again, it's just so fascinating to me that it's like, it used to be QQQ and everything, all these big individual names, including Tesla. And now it's QQQ, Tesla and Amazon, or Tesla and Apple. And in my opinion, a lot of that also has to do with the rise of the semiconductors and the AI narrative there as well. But I just, this just fascinates me as far as watching something very distinctly about the market mechanics changing in front of my eyes over such a long period of time. Again, a 6 to 8 year pattern or consistent theme that is just upended this year. And so here's Tesla testing the bottom of its range, very close to a bear break. And Apple, I'm going to be watching Apple's very clear ranges on the weekly chart. But we had IWM fail a cup and handle. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But here's Apple's clear longer term ranges. But what I'm going to be watching for is, can Apple, if the broader market stays strong, can Apple pull off a cup and handle? And this reminds me of silver, where silver had a couple levels, rejected, weekly bull flag, breakout, level, reject, bull flag, breakout, and seeing if Apple can do something similar. I'm going to keep being bullish this market as long as we're at all-time highs and setting weekly higher lows. For me to even consider things shifting, break the weekly higher lows, all right, you've got my attention. And again, that's fully surrendering to the fact that I am not going to nail this top. If I have to be 3 or 4% off the top, that's fine, as long as it has me looking in the right direction in the meantime. Semiconductors all-time high today, battling to hold 250 3 days in a row. NVDA had it split. That wick is a liar. High of today on NVDA, 123.10. There's some nice clear relative weakness on the morning. NVDA had the high of the day. QQQ hit a new high right about here. To recognize that NVDA was not doing that, I did take a short there. It was short-lived. Bulls recovered, but small win. But overall, bulls are in full control, looking up at all-time highs, and we've got the daily uptrend as our guide here. As I keep saying, the next big piece of information for me in the broader market, after a weekly stair-step pattern of a higher low every single week for 2 months on NVDA, when we get the inevitable weekly consolidation, what's the rest of the market doing? Does IWM and XLF then head to another leg up, or does everything drop with it? That's going to give us a lot of information this summer when that happens. It's either going to be coast is clear for bulls or, red flag. Healthcare, all-time highs in play, a bit of a 4-hour cup and handle type of pattern here, testing resistance. All-time high is 1% away, a little bit less. Short-term support, 145.67, didn't even get to hourly oversold. So tightening weekly range broke bull here. Where else is there a tightening weekly range? So IWM, I seceded, wrong word. Seceded, gave up. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know the South seceded. I seceded my thesis of a potential cup and handle when the red flag started showing up last week, but we're still watching the equilibrium here. So just like healthcare just did with the tightening weekly range, we're now watching for something similar in IWM. Bulls bought the dip in IWM today, but still a lot of work to do. 4-hour downtrend is my guide there. Give me a pattern where a 4-hour trend change takes place. That's the first indication of a weekly higher low being set. If you're looking for a swing trade perspective, you then put your stop under that level. XLF just sideways here. 41 clear support. We held it again today. I mean, look at these holds. 41, 41.02, 41, 41.01, and now today 41.05. Very clear short-term level. So just chopping around sideways. And again, it's, are we just waiting for XLF to get a turn when QQQ tops out a bit here with semiconductors, or what? But simple statement, if weekly EMA 12 is support, the bulls have full control, and we're grinding it the last few weeks. Coin. Hourly oversold, hitting daily EMA 12 today, led to a very nice morning bounce. The bulls will still need to confirm the hourly uptrend for the daily higher low to be set. If that happens, I move up my stop loss on my swing position to 237.99 or something like that. And at that point, it would lock in a 10% winner. Worst case, unless a big gap down on bad news, but still going with the daily uptrend at this point. Bitcoin's going to have a pretty important FOMC reaction on Wednesday, because that's going to either dictate whether we head down and test the 66 double bottom or the 72 double top. Here we are, smack dab in the middle. With regard to GameStop, I did a live stream today, so I talked about a lot more than GameStop. Big picture stuff, trading, all that, so that's on our YouTube channel. Check that out. Dollar. So if the broader market bulls, crypto bulls, metal bulls are going to keep control, the dollar must confirm a weekly downtrend for the convincing monthly lower high within this equilibrium. So patiently watching to see if that weekly lower high is going to shape up. Metals had a huge dump day on the back of some bearish Chinese headlines. Friday, trying to recover today, just a little inside bar. Gold is back testing previous support, now resistance. So we'll watch that zone. As far as support, we are holding the consolidation low. Again, FOMC is either going to have this be a real solid support hold and head back up, or fall through it and see monthly consolidation underway. Monthly consolidation is pretty much what's on the table here for the FOMC on gold. Silver, huge dump Friday, 6.5% or something. I jinxed it by talking about my good swing trading of silver recently. So I did stop out my reload attempt, and that's going to keep me patient. Still going to be looking for a weekly higher low in silver, but essentially after some nice swing trading of entries and exits, getting stopped out on Friday means, okay, now just slow down a little bit and go back to patient. But again, FOMC reaction is going to dictate whether we set a weekly higher low or whether silver heads down to weekly EMA 12 support. And miners also got to watch for a weekly head and shoulders here. Even if we do bounce now, we'll be watching for that possible setup. Long story short, I'm just a bit less confident in the metals in the short term, maybe shaping up monthly consolidation. Oil, big time bounce. Bulls will still need to confirm the daily uptrend eventually, but bulls giving themselves space to be watching for the potential of this inverse head and shoulders type of pattern, which is just a downtrend changing to an uptrend. But monthly equilibrium, we know a higher low is the most likely scenario. Is that shaping up? Confirming the daily uptrend would be the first baby step towards shaping this up, but anticipating that oil is going to tighten up on the monthly time frame through a good bit of the summer, if not all of it, and then going to get volatile Q3, Q4. Are we almost in Q3? No, end of June. Natural gas trying to confirm the first weekly uptrend in a very long time. Worth paying attention to. Look at these EMAs on the weekly, trying for the first bull cross in years. What I would like to see, I probably won't trade it either way, but a rejection. If you want to be an aggressive bull, you're looking for a daily higher low. You're putting your stop under 251. And then if this breaks bull, you got a nice position. But we would need to confirm a 4-hour downtrend if that daily consolidation is going to take shape. But keep an eye on natural gas trying to give us a long-term signal that it has not in a long time. See what the FOMC gives us. I'm away tomorrow, so I'm taking it easy until post-FOMC before looking to establish any further swing positions. And I hope you're well. Do good things.